So when we talk about Belgian beers, we can break it down into a few main styles. You have your farmhouse and saison beers, you have your sour lambic style beers, and Flanders beers will kind of fall under that umbrella. And then you also have Belgian style Abbey beers. Abbey beers are beers that are brewed in the monastery. Monasteries were centers for brewing throughout the Middle Ages as far back. And monasteries have to be self-sufficient. And so they brew, they bake bread, they grow crops, and they would also sell this beer to the public to raise money for all of their charitable work on the side. These beers were then preserved within the walls of the monastery. As changing styles happened outside, these beers stayed the same for a long time. And so they were keepers of these traditional styles that we get to enjoy today. So a few defining characteristics of the Belgian Abbey style would be the yeast character and use of interesting ingredients. Talking about the yeast first, very specifically, these abbeys have held onto and honed and domesticated their own style of yeast that's very expressive. Produces a lot of fruity esters and spicy phenolics that make a really complex and flavorful beer. These beers tend to use specialty ingredients like spices or orange peels that are very secretive, and Belgian brewers don't like to share what they are. Finally, the strength of these beers is another defining aspect. They tend to be stronger and made to keep and store for a long time, and they also tend to be bottle conditioned and very highly carbonated. pFriem's Belgian Dark Ale is one of the beers that we built this company on. It was one of the first beers we brewed. It's one of the beers that we are most proud of. It is in the style of a Belgian strong dark ale. You can think the likes of St. Bernardus Abbot 12 or West Vleteren 12. It is stronger in alcohol, it is dark in color, and it achieves that color through the use of Belgian dark candy syrup, which is a caramelized sugar that's cooked down and imparts flavors of chocolate and raisins. Even with its formidable strength and caramel raisin flavors, it's still very dry, and we bottle condition it so it's extremely effervescent and has a big rocky head on top. pFriem's Belgian Blonde Ale is a modern take on a more modern Belgian style. Traditionally, all these Belgian beers were darker in color. If not dark, they were at least copper colored. The forefather of all these styles is the Belgian Pale Ale. But as tastes were changing post-World War I and especially World War II, they were trending towards lagers and Pilsner in Europe, and so to respond to that, the Belgian brewers lightened their beers while still using their traditional yeast. There's even some rumor that some Scottish yeast got pulled in the mix, and so these beers tend to be a little less expressive on the yeast side and a little cleaner in flavor. pFriem's Belgian Blonde Ale will showcase flavors of white peach, white grape skins, and citrus, and it's lighter in body but still strong in alcohol. Belgian-style Abbey beers are great special occasion beers. They pair well with food, they pair well with appetizers, they pair well with company. They are stronger, and so they should be drank with respect and sipped slowly, but they are dry, and their carbonation and complex flavors pair well with complex foods. Think, really sharp cheeses, or a nice charcuterie board with fatty meats, or rich and hearty stews, or grilled meats. Belgian brewers are particularly wily when it comes to special ingredients and their secrets. They all like to have secret formulas and secret recipes that they never share and they pass down through generation to generation. Most Belgian beers are spiced and without even declaring it. pFriem's Orange Zest Golden Ale is a great example of this. It has orange zest in it, and it does taste of orange zest, but it's very balanced and melds into the flavors that are already present with the expressive yeast. You honestly wouldn't know if we didn't tell you, but we put it in the name and pop. pFriem's pumpkin beer is one of my personal favorites. I think it's a sneaker beer too. You think pumpkin beer and you think pumpkin pie beer, and that is not what pFriem pumpkin beer is. pFriem pumpkin beer at its core is a Belgian double. It is a copper colored stronger Belgian beer, but not quite to the strength of, say, Belgian Dark Strong. It is very raisiny and caramely in flavor, and ours is brewed with Oregon-grown pumpkin puree and has cinnamon and nutmeg and allspice, but added in very low ratios, so it's just the little delicate kiss of Belgian spice.